Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Tanya. I make YouTube videos. This is a fun space just to talk and chit chat. Today's video that we are going to get into is just talking about goals, talking about life. I don't usually make these types of videos. I usually make book content or like fitness content, but I guess goals and this kind of conversation could definitely tie into fitness. Because goals are a big part of fitness. You know, usually people start working out for one reason or another, whether it's to get healthier, whether it's to lose weight, whether it's to gain weight. You know, fitness is just such a different field for everyone. Everyone has different goals, everyone has different things that they want to accomplish, and I guess that's kind of why I love fitness so much, because everyone's just united on one thing. Is just self-improvement and getting better. But today we're going to talk about goals, goal setting, and we're going to talk about some personal methods that I use to set goals and how I push myself to achieve these goals. This wouldn't be a video of talking about goals if I didn't bring out my tried and true method to my madness. Okay, brace yourself.
What? Who is that? The author of the journals.
Journals have been a big part of my life since probably 2021, for a very long time. So going back, this is one of the first journals that I still have. My other journals were destroyed, so yeah, they got taken in a flood and they were basically ruined beyond repair, so I just threw them away. But this is the furthest back journal that I have. So this one, actually, let's see, from 2022. Man, 2022. And yeah, so from there, there's a lot more journals. I'll show you guys. This one's from 2022. This one is from, oh, this is 2021. Okay. So I was 21 and this journal just says "Be the windshield, not the bug." It was cute. I think I got it from Michaels. And yeah, man, it's just so crazy to look back at these. So this one was 2022, this one was 2021. And then I have another one. This one is really cute. I actually love this one. It's says "Never Stop Growing." It's very faded, so you probably can't even read it. And this one is from, I date all my entries, it just makes it easier. So this is from 2024. And then I have this one. I also love this one. This one I got from Spirit Halloween. It's obviously from Beetlejuice, Handbook for the Recently Deceased. So this one was after this one. And then the last one, the current one that I have, well, not last one, but the current one that I have is Corpse Bride. I also got this from Spirit Halloween and it's super cute. I like Halloween, so it's very fitting for me. And yeah, this is the current journal that I have. So let's talk about what to do with the journal. So I believe in manifestation. I believe that you speak things into existence, even if you're just writing it. So I write a lot because, first of all, I have so much going on in my head, like all the time. There's just constant, like, I guess you could say, noise. There's so much that happens that it can get confusing, it can get blurry, and it can get hard to stay on track on one thing. I'm a very creative person. I have lots of ideas, things that I want to do, and I have to differentiate whether it's something that I just want to do right now or if it's something I want to keep doing moving forward. So when I first started journaling, I did this thing called brain dumping. I would just open a page and give myself like a little bit of time and just write whatever was on my mind. It didn't have to make sense. I wasn't making sense of anything. It was just whatever was coming to mind, just to get it out of my head. And it really helps. So just like journal. And then after I did that, I was able to think a little bit more clearly. I was able to differentiate what I was actually feeling versus what was just happening in my head. And it gave me like a clarity. And then from there, after the brain dump, is when I can really start thinking about goals, things I want to achieve, and just like moving forward. Once I got all the riffraff, all the noise out of my head. There's this quote from The Good Place, and so it's Chidi. If you guys haven't watched The Good Place, I definitely recommend. One of my favorite shows of all time. So Chidi talks about how his brain sounds like a fork in a garbage disposal. And I have never like related to something more in like my entire life. Like as a person, like I think a lot. I think way too much. I overthink. I overstrive towards things. I'm very ambitious, and there's just like so much happening. Sometimes it feels like a little overwhelming, which is why the journals come into play again. It just helps me to get that out. But yeah, so Chidi said that, and I was like, wow, that's kind of like how my brain sounds like all the time. I don't know if it's just like anxiety, because I do have anxiety. I do have like these moments of self-doubt. I have, you know, of course, people as humans, it's kind of inevitable to just have like those other voices that influence our decisions, that influence our head and the way we think and the way we present ourselves, kind of everything. It's just, as we go through life, that's just kind of what happens. So yeah, not only like as a person, I like back in yesteryears, back in my day, no, back in like my early 20s, I went through a lot, like I still do, a lot of depression. I had a lot of things happen and I was just really depressed, and I'm getting really vulnerable here, guys, so take it easy on me. I don't do this often. This video was just like spur of the moment. I just decided to be a little bit more candid, be a little bit more real. So yeah, I went through a lot of depression throughout like 2022 to 2024, 2025. So it's just like something I've struggled with my entire life. So seeing all the things that I wrote before and then where I am now is just so eye-opening. And not only has this given me a space to talk about my feelings freely without feeling judged, I also get to just like look back on it. I get to see my patterns of behavior. I get to see my like what triggers me. I get to see all of that written out on paper, and I can go back and realize my patterns, realize my behaviors, realize the way I react to things, and it helps me to grow from it, to move on, I guess you can say. And yeah, that's just such an amazing thing about the journals. So yes, I recommend everyone have a journal. I will always recommend journals because they are tried and true. You're writing to yourself. You're talking to yourself. Like, the most important conversations, I think, for anyone is the conversations you have with yourself. Because if you don't, then you're not going to learn. You're not going to grow. You're not going to be able to challenge yourself. You're not going to be able to ask yourself these difficult questions, and nothing's ever going to change. Unfortunately, and that may sound tough, it may sound brutal, but it's the reality of the situation. If you don't do the difficult things, if you don't have the difficult conversations, things are not going to change. Anyways, moving on, the next tried and true method. Okay, the journals might seem like a lot. Hey, you're writing so much. You're writing every day. You're writing every night. Okay. Next thing we're going to talk about is planners. this one is from 2023. Let me show you guys my madness, because this is gonna just like expose me. And I don't think I'm ready, but you know, right? That's my monthly. And then, oh, okay, that's my next monthly. This is how busy I was at this time. So basically, I'll break this down for you guys. You obviously write out your month, you number your days on your month, and then you write, if you're working, you write your job schedule, write your schedules. If you're working out, you write what times you are working out. This is called time blocking. If you have scheduled paydays, write down when you're getting your paychecks. If you have other things, I had therapy, so I would write when I had therapy, what time, what day. Write down any bills. This is very important. Bills, when they're due, how much you like need to pay. Any subscriptions that you have, write that down, how much, when you need to pay it. And then I color coded this because I'm actually crazy. And I was working 2 jobs at this time. I would write out my double shifts. I was also working out consistently. I was crazy girl. Because I'm thinking about it now, I'm like, how the fuck did I do this? So time blocking is like kind of the, I wouldn't say the only way, but I've had to convince myself that time blocking is the only method that is going to work for me. Because if I have a scheduled time that I need to do something, I'm going to get it done. Obviously, it's not always going to work. There are going to be days when you're just like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. That's normal. That's human. But having it there, most of the time you convince yourself to just do it because it's written out. You're seeing it written out. It's on your schedule. It's blocked into your schedule. So you're like, fuck, I'm just going to do it. It's the biggest thing with goals too. I'm sorry if this is all over the place. I'm trying my best. With goals, you can say, I want to have, okay, what's a good example? But something realistic. I want to lose 20 pounds in 6 months. That may not be realistic. I want to lose 10 pounds in 3 months. Okay, that seems realistic. 3 months, 10 pounds. That, yeah. I want to lose 10 pounds in 3 months. Okay, how are you going to lose 10 pounds in 3 months? Yeah.
You can always just disintegrate me with water. Yeah.
With goals, you have to have the main goal, and then you have to have step by step on how you're gonna get there. Because if you miss the most important part, the step by step on how you're gonna get there, you're not gonna get there. That's how true it is. If I'm like, I wanna lose 10 pounds in 3 months, right? Okay, so I need to find out what my calorie intake is on my day-to-day basis and then follow a deficit. Or like, I don't believe in like the whole like just cutting out main food groups, like the no carb diet. I don't really believe in that. Like, maybe it'll work for some people, but in the long run, at least for me, it's not sustainable. I love carbs, I love pasta, I love rice, I love potatoes. So in the long run, depriving myself of things that I love and things that I want to eat is not sustainable for me, because then I'll just end up, overeating. But yeah, making that goal on how I'm gonna get there. Okay, I'm gonna reduce my intake of food, not to a crazy degree, but I'm gonna reduce my intake a little bit, stop eating as much sweets or processed foods, and I'm gonna work out 3 times a week. Awesome. That's your step-by-step. Cannot recommend more journals and planners. I know it's a lot of writing, and at first, especially if you're not used to doing this, it's a lot to kind of take on, but it is so worthwhile to keep putting in the work for yourself, for your future self, and to just keep showing up as what you want to be. Oh, I'm getting cheesy, guys. But it's true. Little coffee break. Like, now that we've gone over the how to set your goals, realistically, that is the best way that you're going to stick to your goals and get your goals done, is creating that step by step, keeping yourself accountable to the step by step. If I say I want to lose weight, and this may get a little harsh, but if I say I want to lose weight and then I'm not sticking to my step by step, and I'm eating processed food every day, I'm eating lots of sugar, I'm eating lots of like calories and candy and stuff, then I'm not holding myself accountable. I'm just continuing to do what I'm doing, and then like, oh, why isn't this working? Because you're not holding yourself accountable. You're not checking in with yourself. You're not doing what you need to do to get to that goal. I think it was before 2022. I was not holding myself accountable. I was eating like crap. I was drinking. I was just like not working out consistently. And I was like, oh, why am I so overweight? Or why do I look like this? Or why do I feel like this? Well, Tanya, old Tanya, you were putting crap in your body. You were treating your body like shit. You were drinking excessively. And like, no wonder you felt like crap. It's a harsh reality, but it's the truth. And like, I'm not saying this to like be rude, but it's just the reality of the situation. Let's move on. So that we've gone over that, let's talk about the epidemic of cringe. The epidemic of cringe, especially on social media, is so, how do I even begin to describe it? You're gonna be cringe to somebody. If your goal is to, I don't know, act in a show, or act on Broadway, or be a singer, or a performer, a dancer, an athlete, any big, large goal that you have is going to be cringe to somebody. So what? A lot of the times people use this, oh, you're so cringe, oh, you're so cringy, because they're not going after what they want. They're not going after their goals because they're afraid of being perceived as cringy. It's something that you just have to push through. Like, I didn't want to start a YouTube channel because I'm like, oh, that's so cringe. Everybody has a YouTube channel. Everybody is making videos. Or when I post content on Instagram, it's like, everyone's doing that. Oh, it's so cringy. It's so oversaturated. And then I asked myself, why do I care? Why does that, you're so cringe, make me not want to do what I want to do? And it's just, you know, the journal's self-reflection. And I realized that if I keep limiting myself because I'm scared of being perceived as cringy, then I'm not gonna get to where I want to go. The things that I want to do and the things that I want to accomplish are gonna make me look cringy. And I don't think it's worth limiting myself or holding myself back from who I want to be because people are gonna say that I'm cringy. Especially with like the amount of like hate on the on the Instagram. I sound like an old person. Especially with the amount of hate on like social media, YouTube, Instagram. Instagram is, sometimes the comments are just like, do you forget that the people who created this video can read what you're writing? And it's hurtful. It's mean, you know? So yeah, with the amount of hate, there's always gonna be people who are gonna hate on you. There's always gonna be people who wanna take you down because you're doing stuff that they don't want to do. And that's not always the case. Some people hate just to hate because, I don't know, maybe they're not happy in their own life. Maybe they're bitter, maybe they're a little bit miserable, because I think that people who are truly happy with themselves, or people who are truly like happy don't hate like that. And again, take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'm not the know-all be-all, so everything that I say, take with a grain of salt. This is just my opinions, and this is just me talking my thoughts. I think that goals and hard work requires a shift of your mindset. It requires you to kind of like just change the way you perceive things, the way you think about things. It's an overall lifestyle mindset change. And that was like one of the hardest things when it came to like my original like weight loss journey, was changing my mindset to, oh, I just have to do this for a certain amount of time to look this way, because at first I just wanted to lose weight. So I was like, okay, I'll suffer for a couple months and then I'll be fine, because I'll lose my weight and I'll be good. Now, it was, I need to do this consistently. I have to do this sustainably for the long term, because if I want to keep being physically fit, if I want to keep being physically active, this is a whole lifestyle change. Like, I have to change the way I just like do pretty much everything. And hey, look, it worked out in the long run. I'm still working out, I'm still into fitness, I'm doing more things. I'm actually branching out now, branching out to running, obviously still strength training. I want to get into swimming, I want to get into bike riding. Like, there's so many things that I want to do within the fitness space, and that's all because I did the hard work of changing my mindset in the beginning, and now it's blossomed into this. Other thing that can be very, very limiting to people is, well, that's the way I grew up, that's the way it's always been. Sometimes in order to achieve your goals and to really push yourself into what you want for your future, you have to do the work of breaking that generational curse. When I first started my fitness journey, like, I guess I wouldn't say I was like the odd man out, but I kind of was the odd man out. Like, I would wake up at 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning to go get my workout in, and everybody would look at me like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you up so early? What are you doing? Why are you eating that? Like, oh, why are you not drinking? Like, why? It's kind of all I got. And it made me feel like the odd one. It made me feel excluded. It made me feel like, oh, why is everyone always like judging everything I do? But at the same time, I just kept doing it, because I knew that this is what I wanted for myself. And I knew that I set this goal for a reason, because I wanted to achieve something. And I just kept showing up. I just kept doing the work. And even though people would be like, oh, but why? Why are you waking up so early? Why are you, be careful, you're lifting too much. Or be careful, you know, that, did you know that actually diet soda is really bad for you? Did you know that, you know, being healthy and building muscle is like bad for women? Did you? And it was all just like this stuff that was like, Actually, if you took a second to look it up, you would realize that building muscle for women is extremely important. Most women over 30 are at risk for osteoporosis if they do not work out consistently, if they don't strength train, if they don't build muscle. Did you know that actually working out, if you decide to get pregnant, can help you with your pregnancy? No, that's wrong. That's what actually, no, that's wrong. Look it up. That's all I have to say. This is something that everyone can do, you know, writing journals, reflecting with yourself, learning from your own patterns of behavior, because that's what reading the journals back does. It shines a light on your patterns of behavior. It shines a light on what you think, what triggers you. And keep in mind, this is not something that I learned overnight. This is not something that I learned overnight. It took actual years. It's the biggest advice that I can give you guys, step by step. It's a journey for a reason. One step at a time. If you back a step or if you fall back on a step, you just keep going till you get to the next one. It's kind of like evolving, like Pokemon. Like, I started as Piplup. I wouldn't say I'm like Empoleon yet, but I'm probably like in the middle. Once I get to my next goal, then I'll be Empoleon. But as of right now, I'm just not at that top of my goal yet. I have so much more planned, guys. I have so much just going on in here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to stop that. I just watched Gravity Falls again, and man, that show is just freaking phenomenal. If you haven't watched Gravity Falls, what are you doing? Watch Gravity Falls. And everyone will be like, oh, but Tanya, that's a kid's show. It's so much more than a kid's show. It's so much more than a kid's show, guys. But yeah, if you haven't watched Gravity Falls, watch Gravity Falls and get back to me. If you haven't watched The Good Place, watch The Good Place and get back to me. Get back to me in the comment section and let me know. That's basically all I wanted to say for this video, guys. I have this new lens. I have so much going on, so much in my mind, and I'm just journaling about it, making my step by step on how I'm gonna get there, and I'm just going through it. And yeah, once I get to the goals that I want to achieve, I'm just gonna feel so great about it. I'm gonna feel so great about putting in that hard work now and getting the reward later. If you guys like this video, please be sure to leave me a comment or a like down below. If you want to see more content like this, just chit-chatting, talking, I would be more than happy to make that for you guys. If you have something specific that you would want to talk about, leave me a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!